Welcome back to Real Estate 101. I'm Joe Terceira, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the qualifications for hiring a good general contractor, and I'm pleased to be joined by Daniel Ott of Artisan Contracting. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks, great to be here.
So tell me, if I'm looking for a general contractor to do some renovations in my home, how do I select a good one?
Well, there's a lot of things you got to consider, but some of the key points are quotes versus estimating. Do they do designs? What are their time frames like? But most importantly, how well are they to get along with?
So what is the role of a general contractor?
Basically, a general contractor brings experience and expertise to a home renovation project. They hire and oversee the subcontractors and really take all the stress and the headaches out of making your dream a reality.
Now, should the general contractor be licensed and insured?
Absolutely. Different cities require different licenses for contractors to be able to work in that city. And as far as insurance goes, if they don't have their own insurance, then the client is liable.
Okay, and let's say in this instance, what does the insurance actually cover, the contractor's insurance?
First of all, they should have a WSIB clearance certificate, which is the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, and that basically covers the employees of the contractor and the subcontractors. But as well, they should have general liability insurance to cover themselves, your house, and a good insurance policy will also cover your neighbor's house should something really bad happen. Okay.
Now, tell me, why is it important that somebody check the references of a general contractor? I mean, with so many out there, and you know, everybody refers everybody, why is it important to check the references?
How current are your contractor or the one you're interviewing? How current are his references? Anyone can pull 10 projects from the last 10 years of satisfied customers. But how many can pull that number from the last 2 years or 1 year? Another thing, ask those references some tough questions. How close was the final bill to the initial estimate? How close were they in their time frames? And how well did you get along with them?
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about permits. I mean, it's a hot topic, always has been, probably always will be. Why are they important and who's responsible for getting them?
Technically speaking, anytime you do any work to your home, you're supposed to pull out a building permit. But the cities don't want you to do this either. It's a big waste of time for them. So a good rule of thumb is anytime you do structural work, even taking down a bearing wall when you're doing your kitchen, pull out a building permit. Who's responsible for them? There's a lot of contractors out there getting the clients to pull out the building permits. I have yet to see when this is a good decision on the client's part. A contractor should take care of everything. There's probably a reason he doesn't want to go to the city.
Right. Now, do city inspectors come by to take a look at the work when a permit is opened?
Yes. Different cities have different job completion points where they come in and do the inspections. Some cities have a inspection before any work happens, just so they see what it used to look like, and so they can see where work is going to be done. Different cities also divide it differently, and different cities have sometimes even different inspectors for each stage, such as a structural inspector, an HVAC inspector, and a plumbing inspector. It should be noted here, though, that electrical inspections and permits are completely separate from the city and the contractor. The Electrical Safety Authority takes care of that, and the electrician pulls that out himself.
So should I expect, or should someone expect, a warranty from a general contractor on their work?
Most contractors will have a typical 1-year builder warranty. That doesn't mean that if you call Artisan Contracting a year and a day from now, we're not going to respond to it. We're going to help you out because we want the referrals from you.
Right.
But we don't have that many warranty issues. Usually a warranty issue, though, happens from the product, and that goes through the manufacturer, not through the workmanship warranty of the contractor.
Now, is the general contractor on site at all times, or should I expect the general contractor to be on site at all times?
No. If a general contractor were on site at all times, that would mean that you were the only project going on, which means that all of his overhead has to be paid from you, which means that your costs will be higher. A general contractor usually has 3 or 4 jobs going on at the same time, and they'll alternate their time between them. But he should show up every day to make sure that everything is on track and just for quality control. But that being said, someone should be on site every day, because otherwise the work just drags on.
Right. So for today's final question for our viewers, what would you say are telltale signs of a shady contractor?
That's a good question, Joe. It depends what you mean by shady. If by shady you mean someone who doesn't do all the things that we just talked about, then you've just grouped about 80% of the contractors out there in that group. But they're not all shady. A lot of them are only doing that because it's the way they've always done it. And it's not necessarily a bad way, but we feel there are some better ways.
Right.
Shady, though, in the best sense of the term, I would say look for someone who wants to work for cash, someone who wants you to get the building permits, because that means he's trying to lay low, and someone who possibly doesn't give you a copy of their insurance policy when you ask for it.
All right, Dan, you brought a lot of great information to today's show, and I'm looking forward to having you again next month when we continue our discussion about everything home renovations.
Great, thanks for having me.
If anybody has any more questions or needs more information on home renovations, they can get in contact with Daniel Ott at Artisan Contracting. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Terceira, and we'll see you next time.